Live from the Tone Lounge at the Institute for Tone Science in downtown Greensboro, Megatone Amps presents The Talk of Teronus with Wezo and Drave, featuring Chuck Cotton and the Talk of Teronus Rimshot Band. Sitting in for Chuck on drums is Chip Click. And tonight's special guest is Mark Buddyro Harrison. So now, ladies and gentlemen, and Meldavians everywhere, here's Wezo and Drave.
Take it away.
All right. Welcome to Talk of Teronus with Wezo and Drave. I'm Wezo.
And I'm Drave. And look who our guest is. Wezo, who is this?
It's Mark Buddyro Harrison.
Mark
right
Buddyro Harrison.
You know, he's a badass guitar player.
He is.
I found the place and everything.
Yeah, I know. You did good, Mark.
You can't hide from me.
I know. Hey, Mark, it seems like I've known you for 30 years or more. I mean, before I actually met you, I was a big fan of your guitar playing, and you've got this band. It used to be a four-piece when I remember seeing you first. The Fairlanes, right?
The Fairlanes.
Yeah, it was four-piece at first, right?
Originally four-piece.
Yeah, sax player.
That was 20 years ago the Fairlanes started?
It was more than that.
It's been mid-'80s.
Really?
Wow.
So that might be the longest running continuous band in Greensboro.
With
Bryce Street, maybe you guys at Bryce Street?
Bryce Street's older, I think.
Bryce Street was going strong. I used to go hear them play really before I even could play guitar.
Okay.
Wow.
It's like,
So were those
guys-
guys influences on you?
Yeah,
I mean, they've had 100 guitar players. Every guitar player
would-
in the area has gone through that band.
I would go, but of course then the drinking age was 18 to get in clubs and you could go hear your favorite bands.
But you could sneak in at 16, right? That's what I did.
You were that old? I'm not gonna say how old.
Wait a minute. We can edit that out. Hey, so let's get back to the basic stuff. How did you? What age were you when you decided, hey man, I want to be a guitar player, and what made you want to be a guitar player?
Good question, Les.
Yeah.
Basically my playground as a kid was my dad's radio station.
Oh, cool.
Over in Thomasville. He was the general manager of this small little station.
Cool.
WTNC radio. And
what kind of music did he play?
Yeah, what was his name too? Or his handle?
his name was Harold Harrison. Everybody called him Hal.
Hal Harrison.
And that's how we named our dog, Hallie.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
But back to the station and the music, they played, it really didn't call it country music then. It was still called hillbilly music.
Yeah.
Really?
And
Wow.
the
it was back in the 50s?
late 50s, early 60s. It was still hillbilly, and then they did not play hardly any popular music. This was like, you have to think, Elvis had already gone into the Army. The Beatles hadn't quite hit.
Yeah.
So it was really a kind of a down era for.
So you got kind of hooked. You got hooked on music then. Listen to that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
like, give us some names.
What a
of people.
perfect scenario to have your dad have a
Well,
radio station. Beautiful thing.
Yeah, just the big. The big rollers and Elvis, of course, was really big, and people like Eddie Arnold, Chet Atkins.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember on Saturdays they would have a live show, and there would be a white bluegrass kind of old time band that would come in, and they'd all play around the
From Galax or somewhere like that?
they were local guys,
Yeah.
but don't remember their names. And then right after them was the black gospel group that came in and sang.
Oh my God! I bet that was cool.
And it was. I think each of them had an hour.
So you went to
And I
school
would just
early
sit
for
in-
music.
I did. I just sit in there watching those guys.
Wow.
And
Did the gospel group have the full band?
no, it
was just acapella.
pure acapella.
Wow.
Harmonies, and they were in
Cool.
there.
And did the
sweating it out.
swaying back
Cool.
and forth thing?
They were. Boy, they would get it going. I mean, they were.
Because you sway back and forth when you
They
play.
were going to church, man.
You play in the
Oh,
Fairlanes,
that's
you
cool.
sway back
That's
and forth.
very
Maybe,
cool.
maybe that's where you got that from. You got some
Maybe
soul.
I did.
Yeah.
Sway.
Well, you came by all that stuff honestly then. So I mean, you had pretty cool, big time influences.
Once the Beatles and all that, the English, the British invasion and all that, they still didn't really play that kind of popular music.
Yeah.
So I get to dig through all the demo albums. And
Yeah.
I'll
Cool.
take that stuff home, you know. And I grab stuff just because it had a cool cover, you know.
Sure.
Van Morrison, Hendrix.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them would be a year before I ever played it.
Did any of the old blues albums, you know, by like Sonny Boy Williams or Muddy Waters, anybody like that? You see any of those albums?
The only thing that came through like that would be compilation records.
Yeah.
Because those were your smaller labels.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
it was the larger labels, you know, your Capitol,
Sure.
etc. Reprise records.
So where do you get your blues influence from? Because everything you do, all the rock and all the country and all
Well,
the
you know,
it's all got a
let me
blues
step
flavor.
in. Not necessarily. I've heard him do some straight up country stuff.
That's what I'm saying. But everything he does has got a nice blues influence.
Yeah.
Where's that come from? Who did you listen to?
Yeah, who
Because it's
influenced
all, I guess, blues to me. It just depends on how you attack that particular song. You know?
I totally.
We
hear you, man.
want names. Give us names. Our viewers want names.
Okay.
Who?
So, really, I got most of my blues influence when I started going to clubs. I wasn't necessarily collecting
Just-
records.
Yeah.
I was going to clubs. I was going to hear the Alcafonts.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
going to hear
Yeah,
the
right.
Tornado. I was, you know, going to hear the Skip Castro band.
Sure.
The Rhino Club would have these killer acts on Thursday nights
Yeah.
come through. And,
Yeah, Joker's 3 and those clubs. And
which, you know, saw Johnny Winters there.
You know, one
Yeah.
time I heard Bruce Springsteen showed up at the Rhino Club.
Yeah, he did.
So, but you know, you it's interesting. You have a lot. Local musicians are just as much an influence on you as any of these big names like
Yeah.
that.
A lot of those guys caused me to say, where'd this Led Zeppelin stuff come from?
Right.
You know, hey,
Yeah,
where'd the
exactly.
Stones?
yeah, turn back the
You know.
page.
So how you, then, you know, I've got all these rock albums, and then you go back and say, well, you know, how'd they get their start?
Well, you know, especially the British invasion stuff. You know, the Stones and Jeff Beck and all those guys. They were copying all this blues stuff.
That's what
and
they
then when
were all about.
And then when they were at the Fillmore East and West, they said who do you want to be on the show with you? And they'd bring in these guys who influenced them were the American blues guys who weren't getting any recognition.
You know who should have been at
And that's how I became aware of it.
you know
through
who
the British
should
invasion.
have been at the Fillmore. You
Me
know,
too.
that never was. You know who should have been at the Fillmore.
Who's that?
Buddyro.
Mark Harrison.
And
Bam.
if you ever get invited to
you
the
guys.
Fillmore, you should take your guitar
Yeah, and hire
cables-
us to play with you.
Take your guitar cables in this bag of Meldavian, which we give to every guest.
Yeah, and we're kind of insisting
We are-
that everyone who comes on our show, since they get a bag of Meldavian, the next CD you put out, you know, like with the Fairlanes,
You
or
should
you
write-
can
you
sell
should
that
have
thing,
one- at least
call it
one-
Bag of Meldavian.
You have to
I
at least
will.
call the CD Bag of Meldavian, or one of the songs on the CD.
That's
has to be
the
called.
only thing that was holding me back. I didn't know what to call it.
Well, bam, there you go.
This is. Thank you guys.
Well,
We'd
you're welcome.
like to thank you for being our guest, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
That's
Mark, Buddyro Harrison. And,
Glad to be here.
We'll be back with some music in a few minutes. First, a dramatic reading.
Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Drave,
and I'm Wezo.
and this is the Talk of Teronus with Wezo and Drave. And tonight, as you can see by the way I'm dressed again, it's
It's dramatic reading. Now.
dramatic reading tonight. Once again, Wezo has kindly allowed me to be the dramatic reader while he strikes the traditional Meldavian dramatic reading pose. Tonight, we're reading from frequently asked questions from the American Community Survey. This is a United States Census. Cool.
This is cool.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Got the pose? Strike the
Ready,
pose.
roll, and go.
Communities need data about the well-being of children, families, and the older population to provide services to them.
Of course they do.
By responding to the American Community Survey questionnaire, you are helping your community to establish goals, identify problems and solutions, and measure the performance of programs.
That was beautiful.
Storing words. Now this now goes into the official
Library.
dramatic reading library of Talk of Teronus. As you can see, this is much thinner than these other books, but sometimes less is better.
That's right.
Just
Hey,
ask the U.S. Census about that.
a good paragraph is a good paragraph. That's what we always say here.
Speaking of less is better, our next guest is famous for judiciously choosing their notes when they solo. So when we come back, you're gonna love what we're gonna knock your socks off.
That's right.
And remember, it's all about us.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Harrison and Hideaway.
1, 2, 3. We'd like to thank our guest, Mark Harrison. We got Chip Click, Roger Kohrs, Dr. Drave. I'm Wezo.
And we'd like to thank the collaborative, Chris Ferris, Melody Watson. We'd like to thank Dale Lasley
at MegatonAmps.com.
Remember, it's all about us.